Three friends discover a strange camera hidden in their apartment. At first, it looks normal, but then they quickly realize that it doesn't take pictures of the present. It shows what happens tomorrow. As you'd expect, they use it to their advantage, predicting outcomes and making a lot of money. They're one step ahead of everything, and everything is great. But then, the photos start showing things they never planned, violent things that shouldn't be possible. And no matter what they try, these images always come true. Until one photo shows something that changes everything they believed about each other. Before all of the crazy stuff starts and goes out of control, we're introduced to Finn, who works as a painter and lives in an apartment with his girlfriend, Callie, and his best friend, Jasper. He also manages the apartment complex they live in, and Jasper has a serious gambling addiction. One day, Finn bumps into the building's security guard, this guy called Big Joe, and just casually invites him to a house party they're throwing the next day. Then their landlord rings and says one of the tenants, a man called Mr. B, hasn't paid rent in 2 months. Callie volunteers to go check on him. She knocks on his door and gets no reply. There's also a pile of newspapers outside his door. So Callie grabs the spare key and lets herself in. Meanwhile, Finn and Jasper are in their room discussing, when Callie rushes in and drags both of them over to Mr. B's place. When they get inside, the entire wall is plastered with Polaroid photographs. Every one of them is a picture of their own living room. Jasper concludes that he was just some creep spying on them. But then they notice something. Some of the pictures are of an empty room, and some pictures seem to be missing from the wall entirely. Then Finn turns and sees an enormous machine in the corner of the room, pointed at their living room window. Hanging from it is a fresh picture, showing the coat rack from their living room knocked over on the floor. They head back to their apartment trying to understand everything. While they're standing there talking, Callie accidentally bumps into the coat rack and knocks it over. They look at the photo, which is an exact replica of what just happened. This camera doesn't photograph the present. It photographs 24 hours into the future. Then the machine clicks and produces another picture. They look at it, and it's a picture of the next day, during their house party. Jasper still isn't fully convinced. Callie finds Mr. B's journal. He wrote in it that he had seen his own death through the camera, and that he intended to break what he called the cardinal rule of time and causality. Finn goes through the pictures and realizes every single one was taken at exactly 8 p.m. But there are also a few pictures from during the day, and some are missing. They go to Mr. B's storage unit next, and they find his body. His face is completely burnt and decomposed, but his clothes are totally fine. Back in the apartment, Jasper has an idea to use the camera for gambling. That night, they go ahead with the house party. Jasper and Callie are dancing with guests, while Finn slips away to Mr. B's apartment and takes a photo at exactly 8 p.m. He compares it with the existing Polaroid from the camera wall. It's identical. Then, the machine produces a brand new picture. In this new one, all three of them are posing at the window, and there's a sheet of paper with gambling results stuck to the glass. The next day, Finn is hesitant, but Callie argues that if they don't do what the picture shows, they'd be breaking the cardinal rule. And none of them want to end up like Mr. B. Callie starts going to Mr. B's apartment every morning to water his plants and pick up his newspapers, just to make it look like he's still alive. Finn starts using the future pictures as reference for his paintings. Jasper tapes betting results to the window every single day. Days pass, and they're making money and hiding Mr. B's death. Then, about a week in, a new picture arrives. It shows Jasper and Callie kissing in the background while Finn stands at his canvas painting, unaware. Finn is visibly disturbed. But they've made a rule. You follow the picture. So that night, Jasper and Callie kiss. Finn paints. The kiss goes on way longer than it should. Finn gets angry and storms off to Mr. B's place. The next picture is already waiting for him there. This one shows Ivan, Jasper's gambling bookie, and by all accounts a very dangerous man, sitting in their living room. They are terrified. The next day, Jasper can barely function. He just sits on the couch waiting while Callie and Finn go out. Ivan shows up not long after. He's been watching Jasper's winning streak, and he wants answers. He starts threatening him. Jasper tries to play it cool, offers to let Ivan ride along on his bets in exchange for being left alone. Right then, Callie and Finn walk back in with the next picture. In it, Callie is posing for Finn's painting, and there's a silhouette watching through the mirror in the background. Ivan gets a look at the photo before he leaves. Next day, Finn paints. Callie poses. But the moment the clock hits 8, they spot Ivan standing outside the window. That silhouette in the picture was him. He and his associate Marcus come inside, confront the group, and find out about the camera. Now there's a new arrangement. The group poses with gambling results every single day. They have no choice but to comply. Then one morning, Finn sees the next picture, and his canvas in it has a skull and crossbones painted on it. That is not something Finn would ever paint. They all figure the future version of Finn is trying to warn them, so Jasper starts hiding weapons around the living room. That evening, Finn runs into Big Joe at the gate. Joe has become a police officer since they last spoke. They catch up, but Marcus is parked nearby watching the whole thing. Joe slips Finn his card before they part ways. Later on, Ivan and Marcus show up. They found the police card and they're not happy about it. Ivan threatens to kill all three of them, but Jasper tells Ivan that tomorrow's picture shows Marcus killing Ivan. Ivan gets paranoid and heads straight to Mr. B's apartment to check for himself. Jasper grabs a knife and stabs Marcus. When Ivan comes back and finds Marcus on the floor, Jasper finishes him off with a bat. They drag both bodies to Mr. B's storage unit. They take every penny of Ivan's gambling money. Finn says they should split it and leave the country immediately. That night, there's a knock at the door. Dr. Heidecker, a colleague and close friend of Mr. B. She's looking for him. Jasper tries to cover but contradicts himself, and she pulls out a gun. It turns out Mr. B had written her a letter before he died. He told her about the camera, about what he'd seen, and he even included a picture of their living room with a body and blood on the windows. She explains that when he saw that image, he panicked and locked himself in the storage unit, thinking he was about to be killed. But his death was actually an accident. He was reaching for something on a shelf and a chemical spilled all over him. Nothing to do with the cardinal rule. She also tells them something they didn't know. The camera is actually capable of shooting pictures more than 24 hours ahead. It's currently set to exactly 24 hours, always at 8 p.m. Jasper decides she knows too much. He shoots her with Ivan's gun. They hide her body. Finn is absolutely disgusted. He blames Jasper for the death of an innocent woman and says he's done. He's leaving. At 8 p.m., Jasper takes the money photo while Callie goes to check the next picture. Finn comes out with his bags packed and heads to Mr. B's place where the other two are sitting in tense silence. They look at tomorrow's picture together, and it shows Callie and Jasper having sex on the couch while Finn is asleep right behind them. Callie takes off. Finn confronts Jasper, and in the middle of it pulls out an engagement ring he'd been keeping for Callie. Jasper hits him on the head, knocks him unconscious, and drags him to the storage unit. He ties him up. The next morning, Finn wakes up. He finds a way to burn through his restraints, frees himself, takes the keys from Mr. B's body, and gets out. He grabs a bucket of water, goes to Mr. B's apartment, gets Jasper on the phone, and tells him to let him and Callie go, or he dumps the water on the camera. Jasper brings Callie out at gunpoint. Finn tells her to check Jasper's pocket. She reaches in and finds the ring. She takes the gun from Jasper herself and opens the door for Finn. Finn tells Callie to grab her things, but the moment she steps away, Jasper attacks him again. He's moments away from killing him when Callie comes from behind and kills Jasper. She heads to the kitchen for ice, but when Finn goes to check on her, she's going through the wrong drawer entirely. She fumbles an excuse. He gets suspicious. She brings him back to the room and leaves him there. He finds her standing at the window, posing, with 2 notes stuck to the glass. The camera clicks. At 8 a.m. Finn had no idea the camera ever fired in the morning. He asks her about it. It unfolds. Before everything started, Finn and Callie were already falling apart. He had become distant, and she ended up sleeping with Jasper. What none of them knew at the time was that Mr. B's camera had been photographing their living room twice a day, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. When Callie first walked into Mr. B's apartment at the very beginning of the film, she saw the photos on the wall, including the ones from her affair with Jasper. She quietly pulled those pictures down before bringing the boys in. She also worked out that the camera fired in the morning too, but she kept that to herself, because one of those morning pictures showed her future self standing at the window holding notes that read, "Knock coat stand over," and "Hide last week's daytime photos." She realized she could leave messages for her past self through the 8 a.m. slot, instructions passed backwards through time, one day at a time. Every morning when she went to water Mr. B's plants, she was really going to collect a message from her future self. The whole plan was about winning Finn back, making him jealous enough to actually fight for their relationship. One morning, her future self told her to make the kiss with Jasper go on too long. She did it, and Finn's jealousy went exactly where she needed it to. And the night Finn saw the sex picture, her future self had already told her to swap it in. And it worked, but when Finn finds out the truth, he's finished with her. He wants nothing to do with any of it. He says the machine needs to be destroyed and moves toward it. Before he can do anything, Callie shoots him dead, and his blood hits the window, exactly the way it appeared in the photograph Heidecker had shown them. Now Callie is alone. She tapes a note to the window. "Don't get caught at the window." She waits for the 8 p.m. picture to be taken. If it captures the note, her past self will see it 24 hours ago, and none of this will happen. The timeline will reset. Then Big Joe shows up. He found the bodies in the hallway and he's taking her in. She goes peacefully, still confident that once her past self sees the message, everything will correct itself. But as Joe leads her out, the note slips off the window and falls. Callie tries to break free and run back. Joe pulls her away. The camera takes its 8 p.m. picture. The image starts to develop. Everything goes black, bringing the story to an end. At the end of the day, this whole mess started when the trio stumbled upon the magic camera. Finn, Callie, and Jasper are living together in the same apartment complex. Callie and Finn are dating, and Jasper, who has a gambling problem, is Finn's best friend. Finn is from the apartment complex. One day, their landlord calls and says that one of the tenants, Mr. B, has not paid his rent. Things go south when they break into their missing tenant, Mr. B's place, and find his walls covered in Polaroids of their living room. Then they find the camera, a machine aimed at their window that produces photos of their apartment 24 hours into the future. At first, it's going well. They use it to win bets, with Jasper taping results to the window for tomorrow's picture to show. They tell themselves they have to follow what the photos predict, or they'll end up like Mr. B, dead in his storage unit, face burned off. But the photos get personal. Callie and Jasper kissing. Then they sleep together. Finn is heartbroken, but the rule says it has to happen. When dangerous bookie Ivan finds out, bodies start piling up. Jasper kills Ivan and Marcus, and later Dr. Heidecker, who reveals Mr. B's death was just an accident, and that the camera also takes pictures at 8 a.m. Later, it all clicks for Finn when he catches her at Mr. B's window that Callie knew. She found the morning photos on day 1, hid her affair with Jasper, and has been leaving notes for her past self through the 8 a.m. slot, in order that her actions wouldn't be caught on. She engineered every jealous moment to push Finn to fight for her. When Finn finally walks away, Callie shoots him. His blood hits the glass exactly like Mr. B's photo predicted. Arrested, she leaves one last note to reset everything, but it slips off the window. The camera flashes. That's it for today's story. But before you go, I gotta know, would you do the same thing they did if you found the camera, or would you return it when things started getting out of hand? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more twisted stories like this.